Yes, friends. Now, I would like to give a brief introduction to the agricultural science, the discovery of agricultural practices. The good old days, in the ancient days, agriculture practice since from nomadic tribes. They were wandering in the groups from place to place in search of food and shelter. They ate raw materials, fruits, vegetables, and started hunting for animals and for food. Later, they could cultivate land and practice agriculture and produce the essential food materials like rice, wheat, and other food crops. Today, India ranks second world's largest in farm output. The economic contribution of agriculture to India's GDP is steadily declining, with the country's broad-based economic growth getting nearly 50% of population dependent on it for livelihood. Agriculture, along with the fisheries and forestry, is one of the largest contribution to the gross domestic product (GDP). As per the estimates of the Central Statistics Office (CSO), the share of agriculture and allied sectors, including agriculture, livestock, forestry, and fishery, is expected to be 17.3% of the gross value added during 2016 and 17 up to 2011 and 12. The Department of Agriculture and Cooperation under the Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for development of agriculture sector in India. It manages several other bodies such as the National Dairy Development Board, NDDB, to develop other allied agricultural sectors. Our country, India, is a large country. It is a vast country in the world. Next to China, we are the richly populated country in the world. In order to provide food for a large population, regular production as well as proper management and distribution of food is very, very essential, my dear friends. It is very much necessary. So, we have to produce agricultural materials, agricultural crops for the management. Well, coming to the discovery of agricultural practices, our country, India, is a large country, as I told you. The large population, regular production, proper management, and distribution of food is very much essential, as I told you. Before cultivation of agricultural land activities or tasks are to be done properly, step by step. There is a systematic work to be done, labor to be done. Preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting, storage is very, very important during the process of agriculture practices. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to break easily even when they go deep into the soil. Why does the loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily? The loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms, microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of farmers since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. Earthworm is a friend of farmer, my dear friends, you know that. But why does the soil need to be turned and loosened? We have learned in the previous classes that soil contains minerals, water, and air, and some living organisms. In addition, dead plants and animals get decomposed by soil organisms. In this way, various nutrients held in dead organisms are released back into the soil. These nutrients are again absorbed by plants. Since only a few centimeters of top layer of soil supports plant growth, turning and loosening the soil brings these nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can use the nutrients. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or plowing. This is done by using a plow Floors are made up of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before ploughing. That's why farmers are waiting for the monsoon rains before their operation, before their cultivation, before the starting of the agricultural work, my dear friends. Being we are among rural students, we know what is agriculture since the olden days. We are doing agriculture. Plows are made of wood or iron, which are used in this on soil called crumbs. If it is necessary to break these crumbs with a plank, the field is leveled or for sowing as well as for irrigation purpose. The leveling of soil is done with the help of leveler. Sometimes manure is added to the soil before tilling. That helps proper mixing of manure with soil. The soil is watered before sowing. Well, friends, this is a very important slide. Tilling or ploughing. In olden days, they are using oxen and plough. This is in our good old days. Even today, people in our villages, they are using that. Nowadays, all people are using tractors. Before that, in up to 1980s, up to 2000 millennium and 2010 also, people were using oxen and the plow, which is a plow is important agricultural equipment. But today, the modernization of agriculture, people are going for the tractors, tractor cultivators, and they will be very happy. Anyway, this is an information. Tilling and plowing is a very important basic concept of agriculture. Sowing. What is sowing, my dear friends? Sowing is the most important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality seeds are selected. Good quality seeds are clean and healthy seeds of a good variety. Farmers prefer to the seeds which give a high yield. Seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This tool sows seeds uniformly at proper distances and depths. It ensures that seeds get covered by the soil after sowing. This prevents damage caused by the birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. Next, addition of fertilizers. So fertilizers act a dominant role in the field of agricultural science and in agricultural cultivation. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. Fertilizers are chemical substances which are rich in particular nutrient. How are these different from manure? Fertilizers are produced in factories. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK. NPK abbreviation stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So, my dear friends, these are very important to the plant's growth. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, which are very important. The use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better farmers to get better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy, and maize. But excessive use of fertilizers has made the soil less fertile. Fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. Therefore, in order to maintain fertility of the soil, we have to substitute fertilizers by organic manure or leave the field uncultivated, fallow in between two crops. The use of manure improves soil texture as well as its water retaining capacity. It replenishes the soil with all the nutrients. So, advantages of manure. The organic manure is nowadays is preferable to pollute the land. Better to avoid the pollution of the land. So we have to use the organic manure, which are very important, which acts as a predominant role in the present cultivation, better than fertilizers. This is because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It takes the soil porous due to the which exchange of gases becomes easy, and increases the number of friendly microbes. It improves the texture of the soil. So as far as possible, try to avoid chemical fertilizers, use organic fertilizers. Difference between fertilizer and manure. A fertilizer is an inorganic salt. Manure is the natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung, human waste, and plant residues. Manure is the organic fertilizer. Fertilizer is the artificial or the chemical fertilizer. It is prepared in factories. Manure is prepared in the fields. And fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil, but manure provides a lot of humus to the soil, which helps the growth of plants. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Manure is relatively less rich in plant and nutrients. That is the main difference between the fertilizer and manure. Today, organic fertilizers are used. It is nothing but natural fertilizers, which are very healthy. So, thank you, friends. Thank you for listening. This is a special class for your agricultural science, my dear students of Gopanalli, Mr. Master Rohit and friends Nikhil, Teja, Vinya, and other students, and the rural students of Karnataka. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. See you again in the next class. Please subscribe.